when you were talking about investment, a question came to mind from me. Given, I think one of the things that Zoom does is it doesn't enable you to build new relationships. It's very hard to build new relationships. You can sort of, connect with and amplify existing relationships. So if you're a startup, what's the mechanism to find capital to get the opportunity to make a virtual pitch? Is there a funnel? Is there a channel? Do you have any suggestions for startups in that regard?
I think to start with, and I have like a whole talk related to that in terms of identifying the right kind of investor to pitch to, how do you pitch and all that. But just to start with, most of the VC are actually quite transparent in terms of what they want to invest, what stage and geography. And all of these information is not like my job is actually to check out awesome companies, right? In the enterprise, developers tools, API, infrastructure space. That's what I focus on. And so in many sense, we're quite vocal about it. And if whatever that you're working on, I think the first tip I will give everybody is, okay, who are your competitors and who are some of the similar companies and where have they raised money from? That's actually a really good start to give you some idea of the type of investor that is interested in whatever you're working on, right? So let's say, I think Excel invested in Atlassian. They're a big shareholder there. Just to start, then you can kind of think about, okay, who invested in Canva? Well, actually, in addition to 500, a bond put in, I don't know, at least 60 to 100 million into Canva, I think, in 2 rounds ago. There are Silicon Valley VCs have invested in great company in your region. So then that is actually a really good indication. These are some of the VC, they're okay. Like they actually didn't mind to invest in Australia and New Zealand. So that's to start. But I'm always sort of encourage if the company in your sector, so there is don't waste your time to pitch to VCs that only do gaming if you are in the enterprise, or if you're in gaming, if you pitch on somebody who only invest in things that in China infrastructure, then you're wasting your time. So not all pitching to VC is like dating, but you need to pitch to the right girl, right? You can't just randomly find somebody and say, hey, we should date. It is a process. But laser focus on identify who's your target. And usually once you have a really good target and say, hey, I am early stage and I'm in enterprise, and these are the list of funds. And you can tell just going through Crunchbase, and you can pretty much research really quickly exactly who invested in what. Once you figure that out, usually the way that I'll do it is, okay, who in my existing network do I know that already know can make a warm intro? Ideally is somebody they already invested in, because I love my CEOs and portfolio CEO. I want to support them. So if they already great people, I would love to support whoever that they make an introduction to. That's the best intro. The second best would probably the investor friends or friends in general. But if you ask an investor to make intro to another investor, the first question I'm going to ask, have you invested? And why not? Don't ask an investor who didn't want to invest to introduce you, because it will be a horrible reflection of you, and probably wouldn't be a good reference for you. But if all things fail, and you know what, I don't know anybody, I'm just going to pitch cold. There is a way to write a really great cold email and still get attention. And usually is do not write an email that any VC need to scroll. Just super short and sweet. Couple sentences about what you do. And if you have launched, and especially Silicon Valley VC is all about metrics. If you have some really interesting, maybe if you're B2C, hey, I have 100,000 monthly active users 2 weeks after launch. Interesting. My team have worked together for 10 years with these great school and these great background and company's name. So thinking about social proof, traction numbers, and then usually company name and the email title. And then maybe just like really, really short and sweet. And usually one of my trick is I like to actually put the person's first name as part of, hey, check in with this person. So it doesn't seem like it's a complete mass email, because you want to personalize as much as possible. It sounds like it's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, whatever that you're working on, whatever stage you're working on, I don't think that there's 100 of them. There's probably 20, 30 of them. So to do this and do this right, it really won't take you more than a day, but you need to be super thoughtful about it.